What's up guys, it's Legend X Rona, and today I have another topic video for you guys. In today's video I will be doing my final breakdown on the DLC character silhouettes for Injustice 2. Now this has been something that's been requested a bit by some of you guys who really want to see my updated thoughts on the character silhouettes ever since my first breakdown video when we got the reveal of the DLC character silhouettes. So that being said, I thought that now would be a good time to give you guys my new thoughts, considering that my thoughts on them have pretty much changed a bit since the previous silhouette breakdown video, and I'm pretty sure at this point I do have a good idea on who these characters could be. But if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop it a like to help support my channel. We were able to get the last breakdown video over 3,000 likes, so let's see if we can at least get this video 1,000 likes. Also, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more Injustice 2 content. Okay, so first, let's discuss the new character select screen we recently got with the addition of Red Hood. With us hearing anything about the other 6 DLC characters we were supposed to be getting, this new update definitely sparked up a lot of discussions on who the next characters could be. Now, counting out the silhouettes, of course we have 8 with Red Hood already being added to the roster. Based off the silhouettes though, with the exception of 1, they all look the same as they did with the Fighter Pack 1 trailer, and also we already know that Starfire and Sub-Zero are 2 of these character silhouettes as well. So with that being said, let me go ahead and give you guys my final breakdown on the silhouette characters based on the new updated roster, starting with the right side. Okay, so starting with the one right below Starfire, obviously the silhouette is Raiden. Now I know a lot of people are upset about that, but whether you want it to be or not, this is definitely Raiden. Now that being said, a lot of people think that maybe this could be a trick silhouette like what they did in Mortal Kombat X, but at this point there are too many signs pointing towards him actually being a legit character who's going to be in. There's that tweet that Ed Boon tweeted out a long while back saying Sub-Zero and Raiden before the silhouettes were ever even shown, or even the poll for Sub-Zero to actually be in the game. Not to mention the voice actor who plays Raiden also plays Joker, and he's mentioned twice in the game's credits, along with the voice actors for the Fighter Pack 1 DLC characters Red Hood, Sub-Zero, and Starfire. Also, there's that Raiden Easter egg in the game with a class quote between Joker and Black Adam, and I know that's not actually confirming him to be in the game, but at the same time that's just adding more fuel to the fire. So with all that being said, to me there's no doubt that he'll actually be one of the DLC characters to be added into the game. Moving on to the character on the right of Raiden, I'm positive that this is Rorschach. Now I mentioned it was a possibility in my last video, though I was going with Ra's al Ghul at the time for my own personal reasons. But after going through a few pictures and my friend Brush showing me a very good one to compare to the silhouette, I'm pretty sure that this will be Rorschach. We did get that poll a while back by Ed Boon on Twitter about putting Watchmen characters into Injustice 2, and Rorschach has definitely been the most requested Watchmen character to be in. Also, I know a lot of people are unsure about Rorschach being the character in the silhouette due to the 2 points that are on this character's head, but if you've ever seen somebody with a fedora tilt their head forward, you can kind of see the 2 points where the creases are on the hat, so I definitely think that this proves even more that this character will be Rorschach. Lastly, on the right side, we have a silhouette that's been causing a lot of discussion since we've seen it, and I think that most people will agree with me when I say that this character will be Adam. Now personally, I do find it just a bit funny, because before everybody started bandwagoning on this being Adam, and before this new silhouette, I was already convinced by one of my followers that this character was him. So shout out to @RealLaughOutLoudMan on Twitter, who showed me this picture he made of the previous silhouette for this character, and compared it to a picture of Adam from the DC Legends Tomorrow show on the CW. Now when I first saw this picture, I thought that this could definitely be Adam, and now after seeing how this new silhouette is small, it proves even more to me that this will be him. I will say I'm a bit surprised that Adam was even a choice, but when I think about the possibilities of his gameplay, I actually get really excited because NetherRealm Studios have never made it in any of their games where a character has the ability to shrink and get big, so I'm curious to see what they can do with this gameplay, because I definitely think that he'll have some of the most unique gameplay out of any of the characters in their fighting games. But regardless of all that, I think that this character will definitely be Adam due to how that picture compares to the silhouette and how the new character silhouette is small. Moving over to the silhouettes on the left side, the silhouette right below Sub-Zero, we obviously have Black Manta. Now he was a character who's been requested to be in the game a lot, so it doesn't surprise me to see him actually being added in. I know that there was that whole thing with him being a stage transition, but if NetherRealm Studios really want to put him in the game, I'm sure that that won't stop them from doing this. Not to mention, they could always trade him out with someone else for that stage transition like Ocean Master, or maybe even a different Aquaman character. Regardless, I think that Black Manta is going to be cool to have in Injustice 2. On to the next silhouette on the left. I'm convinced that this will be Enchantress. Now in my previous video I mentioned that it could be her, and looking at the silhouette again, I'm positive that it is. Looking at the silhouette before, I could see the rags on her which resemble her look in the Suicide Squad movie, but one thing that I didn't notice before is that you can kind of see the crescent moon on the top of her head as well. So there's really a good chance that this will be Enchantress. I am a bit surprised that she was chosen over a few other DC female characters, but with the recent Suicide Squad movie, it's not too much of a surprise to see that she is getting a bit of recognition. I do think that she could have some pretty cool gameplay if they fully utilize all of her magical abilities. Now the final silhouette on the left is actually a character who I'm still just a bit unsure about. Looking through every silhouette of this character, there's just no definite character that fitted. Now I know a lot of you were telling me in my last video that it could be Azrael, and for a time I was pretty convinced that it was him as well, but after that interview with Ed Boon during E3, I'm just a bit unsure about it, so I'm going to go ahead and roll this clip now so you guys can hear why.
When it comes to, you guys getting to pick and choose which characters you want to include in the game, obviously the community feedback and what the community wants is a big factor. But are there other things that you guys look at, like how does a character fit within the mythos of Injustice, or how the character would fit at least in a fighting game? I mean, what kind of goes into picking those type of characters to bring as DLC?
A lot of it is just the discussions within the team. Some people really just start campaigning for a certain character they want to see in the game, and as well as just the different styles of gameplay. Like, at one point we were considering another character that had a sword, but we were like, oh, you know what? We've already have that with Robin, and so we really didn't want to kind of double up on that stuff. And so the gameplay style, we want to have a good representation of female fighters. That's always a cool thing to have, and just the and feedback from playing.
He said there's already a character with a sword, so they didn't want to add another character like that. With Azrael having a sword, that kind of makes me think that he would fall under that. Granted, he does have the blades from his gauntlets that he could use, but it just wouldn't be right to have him and not using his sword. Other than Azrael, though, there are other characters people think that this silhouette could be, like Spawn, who would make sense if it was actually him, considering that he had such a high demand during the hype days. Etrigan the Demon, who would be cool, but it looks like this character might have a hood on, so unless Etrigan has a hood, I really don't see it. Shazam is another character that I've seen a lot of people say, but this silhouette is just a bit more buff than what Shazam is, and it would also make more sense for Shazam just to be a Black Adam Premier skin. And lastly, there's that whole thing about this silhouette being a gorilla that turns into Beast Boy theory that I talked about in my last video, but that's beginning to seem like a slim chance, though I would really love that because I still want Beast Boy to be in the game. But my final guess is that this will be Azrael, only because I see him being the character in the silhouette more than any other character. Maybe Ed Boon was only talking about the main roster when he mentioned no more characters with swords, or maybe Azrael will only use the blades on his gauntlets if he's in. Regardless of how it's done, I'm going to go ahead and go with this being Azrael until I get some kind of new evidence that changes my opinion. But these are my updated thoughts on the silhouettes and who they could possibly be. I know a lot of people were thinking that maybe these silhouettes could be placeholders, even I thought that one of them might be, and I know some people even think that these characters could be Premier skins, but I'll say now that I'm sure that neither of those are the case. Most people refer to Mortal Kombat X's Kombat Pack 2 silhouettes whenever talking about false silhouettes, but technically they weren't even false. Every character was there for the most part, and I know that nobody really expected Leatherface to be in the game, but even Machinima predicted that he would be, and they even showed a picture that fit the silhouette. And Baraka's silhouette has some truth behind it, considering that Alien did come out of him and he did have some of Baraka's abilities, so I don't really see these silhouettes for Injustice 2 being fake. But all we can do now is to continue to wait until we finally get the reveal of the next 6 characters. That being said, we might already know a time frame we can expect to see the reveal of the next Spider Pack, thanks to a recent tweet from Ed Boon where he said that Sub-Zero will be coming out on the 11th of July, which means for the most part these characters will be released a month apart from each other. That also means that if this is true, then we can probably expect the reveal of the next Spider Pack to be in August, considering that the last DLC character in Fighter Pack 1, Starfire, will probably be released in August as well, but that's just pure speculation. But what do you guys think about these characters being the DLC characters? Would you be happy with this? And if you still happen to have thoughts that are different than mine, who do you think these DLC characters could be? Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop it a like to help support my channel. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to check out my other videos and possibly subscribe for more Injustice 2 content. This is Legend X Ronin, and I'll see you guys later.